Muy buenos dias. Good morning. Hope you are well, staying positive and focused on what you can control. Welcome to Cafecito con ACE, our first segment of 2024, where we featuring our new theme, Avanza, for 2024, Advancing Positive Impact, where momentum meets opportunity. Stay tuned for more on what this means throughout the month and year round. Bienvenidos. Please drop where you are tuning in from in the chat and use this comment section as an opportunity to network and to connect with one another. My name is Patricia Mota, and I serve as President and CEO of HACE, the Hispanic Alliance for Career Enhancement, whose mission since 1982 is to positively impact workplaces by cultivating the comunidad, the community of Latino talent, providing the insight, access, and support to be successful in their careers. Few key announcements before we jump in with our special guest today is thank you so much to all of you that contributed to our end of year campaign of a goal of 100,000, which we achieved, that go towards scholarship programs, scholarships for students across the nation. So thank you so much for helping us to continue to make that impact. And also, it's that time of year where we're accepting applications for spring programs, which include anywhere from early to mid-career professional development programs. Some of the ones that I do want to highlight are also the student ones. El Futuro High School program, we have a special cohort for Arizona high school students where you get to participate in this career readiness program and receive an educational stipend as well. Our HACE Colores, our first inaugural LGBTQIA cohort, is launching, as well as another cohort of Hombres de HACE. So just some key highlights, more information on the website. Go to aceonline.org because key deadlines are coming up. So I think that's it for my announcements. I want to help me introduce and welcome our special guest today, Refugio, or Ref Atilano, who is the Director of Global Project Portfolio Management at AbbVie. And also, especially our friends from LinkedIn, many of you may know, he's also the author of the Latino Leadership Playbook, which is a toolkit of insights to accelerate your impact in the workplace. Many great authors, co-authors are part of the book, including our very own chair of ACE, Alina Moran. So buenos dias, Ref. How are you today? You're on mute, my friend.
Thank you, Patricia. Thanks for being here. Really excited to be here with you today.
We're excited to have you and to join us in this conversation. We have a lot of great friends on the chat, so from all over, right? We got the Milwaukee in the house. We've got San Francisco. My colleagues from the ones that are from sunny Florida, Tennessee, New York. So buenos dias a todos. Ref, my first question in Cafecito con ACE is, how do you like your cafe or your morning beverage of choice?
Yeah, like I was telling you a little while ago, I'm a morning person. And so I don't need cafecito in the morning. So I use my just trusty water here. Keeps me fresh. But towards the later in the week, I usually get some cafecito to keep me going towards the end. But yeah, morning person. So water does the trick for me.
Wonderful. So water, we have those as well. So sometimes, not everybody's cafecito, but you're still welcome on Cafecito con ACE. So tell us, Ref, one of the things I love about being able to do these interviews and engage folks like yourself is just learning about folks, your background, how you got to where you are, because it just helps us create awareness. Same thing as what, you've done in your own career. Tell us about your cultural, your professional background, how you got to where you are today.
Yeah, thank you for asking, Patricia. And before we get started, Patricia, I want to say AbbVie is very excited about our partnership and a partnership we've had over the years, and we're excited about the future of our partnership. So thank you on behalf of AbbVie for hosting us and doing all you do. So thank you for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, second piece is, so I'm a Chicago guy, born and raised, second generation Mexican. I have a large family. There's 4 generations of us, my family here in Chicago. But I was the first of everything to go to college, to get a career, and where I am today. And I'm part of our second generation of us here in Chicago. In my career, I've had a lot of different positions, but all within that enterprise global program management space. a lot of different industries. So like, United, Sears and US Cellular, now with AbbVie. But, it's been a phenomenal career. I've learned a lot. I focused on leadership and specifically Latino leadership. And I use that today as a superpower as I lead our ERG, as I drive my own career and hopefully add value for everybody here.
That's amazing. And thank you so much for all you do to drive this partnership as well. Leading the ERG is one of them. I think with us, as partnerships are most engaged, we're not only having partners that are recruiting or hiring through us or using, but are also engaged with the ERG groups. Their employees are going through our training program. So big kudos to you for all that you do and all of the folks that we partner with at AbbVie for the partnership that we have throughout the year. So I know some folks in the chat are also dropping in with their cafecito of choices. So we encourage you to share, Cuban cafecito. I see Team Agua we got from one of our colleagues. So please use the chat to continue to engage. And of course, my colleagues are also sharing some additional information on what we've got going on. But one of the key things that you mentioned, being the first in terms of your family, whether it's through your education, whether it's going into corporate America, part of that takes, some advocating for yourself, right? Like part of it is the mentors and the role models and the support network that we get. But tell us, why is advocating for yourself and why is it so important?
Yeah, it's interesting. First, Jen, like you said, we're not taught to advocate for ourselves. And, I know next question we'll talk about the background, but, when we're raised, it's, keep your head down, don't brag, don't get the spotlight, all those things. However, in the workplace, it's critical if you want to advance it, you stand out. And so to stand out, what does that mean? So really, the way I like to position it, it means share and show your brand. People think when you have to advocate for yourself, you have to talk about yourself. That's part of it, probably 10% of it. But showing how you operate, showing your brand, showing your conviction, your confidence, how you communicate, your presence, how you tie to the business and the work you do ties to the business. Do you work on big things that advance your business or that advance your community? That's advocating for yourself. It's really how you show up. And it's really important that you do these things because the bigger you show up and the bigger things you work on, those are things that attract promotions, opportunities, special assignments, sponsors, mentors that are VP and above. They want to be part of you. They want to be part of that winning solution. They want to be with somebody who knows what they're doing, is excited and passionate about what they're doing. So bottom line is it's really showing up big. And so that's the importance of it and what it can do for your career.
Yeah, and would love to hear if you have any personal examples in terms of, because you have done that throughout your career to get to where you are and a lot of things that you're moving forward. And so we've got folks that they agree. I see the mande usted mentality, which is a strong value, a core value that many, generally speaking, in the Latino community have in terms of humility, respect for authority, right? Lo que dicen like goals, not tooting our own horns. And so there's a lot of cultural values that traditionally speaking sometimes hold us back. But I think it's the awareness, Ref, right? To what we're talking about is the more self-aware we are about that, the easier it can become. It's like, okay, I need to be able to get more comfortable advocating for myself. Or in this instance, I need to be able to speak up for myself. So why, what advice do you have or examples that you have for folks that are struggling, right, with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So to your point about that, you said number one is awareness. So, our cultural values, respectful, family oriented, all these things are still in play. So for instance, I'm a bicultural leader. So I put it, when I'm at home with family or even within my ERG, very family focused, very group oriented and very, those cultural values are very resonant. However, in the work environment, when I'm competing, so to speak, it's full beast mode, right? I'm coming strong. I know my competition's coming strong, but that's what it takes to advance our careers. That's what it takes to show up big and do big things and inspire others to do big things. And so it's almost like I shift. I learn. I know when to press on the gas with my culture. So for instance, in my position, I'm a global leader with global teams. And because of my culture, I'm very collaborative and I connect well with cultures, right? So I use that as my superpower and it helps me stand out compared to some of my peers. Whereas, even sometimes if you're very family oriented, sometimes you got to pull that back a little bit, especially if you have to make a quick business decision and you got to move with urgency. You can't involve everybody. So you got to move quickly, right? And involve the key stakeholders and drive that forward. So the art is knowing when to push and when to pull on your culture, but at the same time, make sure you're putting yourself out there, you're being bold, and you're competing in new ways. One of the things, and I have a bunch of things I do. For one, one thing when it comes to my advocating for myself is my presence. So you can see my image, right? I put a lot of thought, I put a lot of work and hard work into it, and to the point you master those things. When I operate with impact. So I look for the big things in our organization, and I take those on, I lead them, and I raise my hand, and then I drive them, and I show the results of them, and I story tell those things so executives can see the great work we're doing, the impact we're making for the organization. Anytime I meet with anybody, whether it's here or an executive or just a peer, I'm always extremely prepared. I know exactly what I want to do. I send agenda topics ahead of time. I know exactly the energy I want to bring to that meeting and what I want to get out of it. And so the more you show that you're prepared, you're on point, and you're advocating for yourselves by showing who you are, those are things that can change the game. One of the other things I like to talk about is, you're always on, you're always advocating for yourself. So it doesn't matter if you're walking down the hall, walk with purpose. That's the way I like to do it. But show people you mean business. So whether it's walking down the hall, whether it's a lunch, whether it's a meeting, whether it's walking to your car, do things with purpose, do things with intent, because you're always being assessed.
Oh my goodness, so much to unpack there. There was a lot of great nuggets. I hope you all are taking some notes. We're getting ready to take some questions. So I see one there, and please drop the questions in the chat. But one of the things that I really love is about, you talked about your global role and how you're able to leverage your culture as a superpower in that global role, as one example, right? There's many. And so I think that's just a critical reminder to us that, right, it's in terms of looking at it, in terms of how we shift, right, in terms of being able to leverage our superpower to be in global roles, to be able to advocate for others in our community as well. And the preparedness, right? And leading with purpose and making sure that no matter what we're doing, who we're talking to, that we're prepared and we're showing up as prepared and sharing, what we're knowledgeable about. And I think the sharing piece is critical, because I know one of the questions is regarding the difference between mentorship and sponsorship, which is a very popular question. I've heard it time and time again. Ref, I know you have, so much so that ASE has launched one of our new professional development workshops on that exact topic. So if you want more, make sure to reach out to us. We can deliver that. But Renzo, could we go over the difference between a mentor and a sponsor and how they bring different value? And I think part of what you said regarding how you show up, I think plays part in that, a big part of that, I would say.
Yeah, let me jump in there too, because that's such an important topic, and there's plenty of stuff online about this, and in the Latino Leadership Playbook and Patricia's program coming up, sponsors will advocate for you. Bottom line is they will fight for you. It's usually a VP or above, and you got to develop that relationship organically, typically. But it's the VP who's going to fight for you at the table, who's going to get you promotions, is going to get you better bonuses, is going to make those introductions to other senior leaders across the organization. They put their full weight behind you because they trust you and they know you and they know you're going to deliver and that you come with conviction. They want a winner, and sponsors are always going to champion those winners. A mentor's more situational based, so it could be a situation, it could be you want to learn more something about a given topic. And a lot of mentors, they don't have to be VP or above. It could be it could be director level, subject matter expertise. However, when I get mentors, I go for VP and above. Hopefully, eventually they can become sponsors. But I really go for those who are influential, who know their craft, who are passionate about leadership. That attracts me. And to be honest, a lot of times when I go for sponsors and mentors, it's those who are not Latino. So I know the Latino culture. I need to understand and learn something I don't know. So I get a lot of women. I get a lot of different races type of thing. And, mentors and sponsors when I in my journey have all been white, and I've learned a ton from them because of that. So mix it up, and you'll find great things.
I think in terms of having that diversity and being able to connect with those that perhaps are different than you or see things differently is also so important as well. So I know we've got time. Anything you would add before? I know we've got to wrap it up. I know folks are commenting. there's any other questions on here. Anything you want to add on that piece or in general?
Yeah, something you said, Patricia.
We've got, I'm sorry. So from Irma, is like, what would be the one most important advice for Latino college students who feel they're not comfortable networking with industry partners because they do not feel that they belong?
Yeah, number one is you do belong. So you know, you have to work towards that and get yourself kind of what we're talking about. Get yourself, you know, get involved with organizations like ASA and others. Get a sponsor and connect with, you know, industry professionals. They will walk you through what to do and what not to do, and they'll help you create a game plan for how to network. When I go to any network event, I don't go just to have drinks and party. That's not what I do. I go with a specific intent. I look for the influencers there. I look for who's speaking, and I try to have a conversation with that person. It's very intentful and intentional and thoughtful. And I ask, when you do network, make it a power session. Make it you know, even if it's 2 or 3 folks that you really connect with that are highly influential, take advantage of that, because that's where the real power is. And Patricia, before we go on, I do want to come back to something you said earlier, which is advocate for others. You know, I can't tell you how important, especially as you move up in your career, pull others up with you, provide opportunities, create connections. Because the more you do that, the more it shows how the impact you can make and that we all can make when it comes to advocating for each other.
Yeah, such a need, I think, you know, and sometimes, again, that fear of us asking for help or reaching out holds us back. And so you heard it from Ref, you hear it from us all the time, right? Is you never know that what the worst they could say is no, or maybe later at another time, or you hear nothing at all, but at least you tried. But most oftentimes, yes than not, right? Folks are willing to be able to connect with you for a cafecito, right? 10, 15 minutes, maybe half an hour to be able to connect with you and really share knowledge and support one another. And so, Ref, believe it or not, we've got a last question for you. We got to wrap it up.
Please. Yeah.
But thank you so much for kicking off the year with us. And as we like to ask our guests, especially as we have entered a new year. It's 2024. Many folks are in resolution mode, or many folks they're planning what the rest of the year. What are you most hopeful for 2024?
Yeah, sticking with the Latino leadership theme, because that's my passion. I'm excited about the Latino leaders going forward. You know, we have a lot of tools. We have year programs and many programs with others. We have playbooks out there. Yeah. I'm excited about Latinos and Latinas just taking initiative, being bold. That's number one. The mindset has changed. Be bold. Put yourself out there. Take thoughtful risks, right? And connect yourself with strong individuals. At AbbVie, for instance, in our ERG that I lead, Ahora, we have 2,600 members, but we're developing ourselves. We invest so much in programs like ASA and others, but we invest time, we invest resources. Our company, AbbVie culture is so important to us. So we get investment, we get senior level and executive support and guidance and mentorship on what we do. It's a place where we can advance and elevate each other. So please, anybody connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll tell you more about AbbVie or Latino leadership in general. But I'm really excited about this year and the future of Latinos.
Same here, Ref. We've dropped your LinkedIn on the chat, so folks, as he mentioned, reach out to him to connect. We're appreciative to you, to our partnership with AbbVie, so that we juntos together continue to advance positive impact for this year and beyond. Mil gracias. Thank you for all of you tuning in. Continue to engage in the chat, and we'll see you next time. Hasta la próxima. Take care.
All right. See ya. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.